Do you want to know the secret to getting the most full coverage airbrush concealer with little to no creasing? Well, I'm gonna need you to lock in for me, okay? No, we are not gonna be going straight in with concealer. This is gonna be a trust the process, babe, okay? So let's get started with the process. First of all, we're cleaning the crusty eyes. Yes, you heard that right. So clean out that tear duct, okay? And then clean anything else because you're not gonna see it until after you put on the concealer and it already looks bad. Then we are going in with an eye cream. You can use any eye cream, but I'm using this one because it has like a little bit of yellow pigment, so it just starts the color correction process early. Make sure you hydrate the area well because we are gonna be going in with a lot of powders and we don't want it to look crusty dusty. Now this is my little secret. I'm using a matte eyeshadow primer just in the creases underneath my eyes to prevent that area from creasing and make sure the product sticks. You want to go in with the smallest amount, rub it in, and then tap it in to get the most seamless effect. Okay, then please wait a minute. Let this product settle in before you go in with any more products, alright? Now we are starting the color correction process. I use a yellow tone because my under eyes are more purple toned. If your under eyes are more blue toned, you can use an orange toned color corrector. Now I'm being very specific with the way I blend this and trying to really just put it on the dark parts that actually need it using a kitten paw brush, staying within that little half circle area. Finally taking the excess across my eye to the outer corner. Alright, it's finally time to actually apply the concealer. I'm applying it in this little space underneath my creases, same way kind of that I did the color corrector, setting it down, letting it dry a little bit before I start blending it out. I'm using the same brush. You can use a smaller brush for even more precision, but it just takes forever. Similar technique to the color corrector, I'm blending it into place as opposed to blending it out, at least at first. Blending a little bit into my inner tear duct area, but otherwise trying to keep the majority of the product underneath my natural creases. Finally, with whatever product is still left on my brush, I'm pulling that into the outer corner and across the eye. Blend out the other side close to my nose as well and just kind of use that to enhance my nose contour. And here I'm blending out the edges of the concealer even further. I recommend using a beauty blender, but I didn't have one in this case, so I'm just using my foundation brush. In terms of setting powder, you're going to get the most airbrushed effect by using multiple setting powders. So we're starting with the pressed powder and working that into the powder puff before we do anything else. Then I'm using a clean eyeshadow brush here to just brush some of the product out of my creases. We don't need any there. An even more effective method is to take a micro Q-tip and just go into your creases, at least the major ones. Then right after, you want to take your pre-prepped powder puff and start pressing that pressed powder in until your under eye appears matte. Now going in with the loose powder, you want to press off the excess on your hand and then go ahead and press that in the exact same way. We are building up the loose powder just a little bit more, and this is what's really going to help us with the creasing. You see I'm pressing extra into my creases and then using it to help define my nose contour as well. I'm even going to go in with an eyeshadow brush to put a little bit more powder right in those creases underneath my eyes. That really does help with the creasing long term. Ideally you want to bake for 5 to 10 minutes and then we're going to brush that away and set with setting spray. I'm going to let the setting spray dry just a touch before going in with a small concealer brush to blend out those creases one last time, setting one last time with pressed powder. And this is the final look. It's not perfect, of course, because my under eyes are not perfect or we wouldn't be here, but this method has led to my best looking concealer ever as someone who has dark circles, has always had creases, and has an oily eye area that likes to crease instantly. Let me know if you have any questions at all and let me know if you try this method. I hope it works for you as well as it's worked for me.